Now, while the world is desperately waiting for the coronavirus vaccine, citizens in the Nordic nation of Sweden are extremely sceptical. The reason is the bitter experience of the last mass vaccination drive. Our next report gets you all the details.
21-year-old Melissa Cheby may not be absolutely sure about many things in life, especially in the times of the pandemic. But she is clear about one thing. She won't take the coronavirus vaccine. The scars from the previous vaccine run too deep and far outweigh the risks associated with the coronavirus.
When I got narcolepsy, at the start, I didn't know that I had narcolepsy. I actually had to live with this problem for a few years. 3 years without knowing it was narcolepsy. I had sleep attacks as you get, tiredness during the day, and I had something that we don't actually know much about that's called cataplexic attacks.
Cheby is not the only one. There are many Swedes like her who haven't recovered from the trauma of the previous mass vaccination drive. Health authorities in the Scandinavian country in 2009 urged the public to voluntarily take the Pandemrix vaccine against swine flu, made by British drug company GlaxoSmithKline. Anders Tegnell, Sweden's state epidemiologist and the face of the country's controversial softer response to the coronavirus, was among a group of experts at the Board of Health who had pushed for the mass vaccination. More than 60% heeded the call, the highest level in the world. But hundreds of those vaccinated, including several children and young adults under 30, were later diagnosed with narcolepsy as a side effect of the vaccine. Narcolepsy is a chronic disorder of the nervous system that causes excessive and often uncontrollable drowsiness. Melissa says that she will wait for at least 5 years to find out about all the long-term side effects of the vaccine before she considers taking it.
We don't know what the risks are with this vaccine. It could be a lot worse than narcolepsy. It could be just as bad as narcolepsy, and it could be everything in between. And that's my approach to vaccines. And I'm not going to take the vaccine until in about 5 years when we know what the risks are.
The trauma over vaccines is particularly notable in Sweden, which normally boasts participation of more than 90% in its voluntary children's vaccination program. But a recent survey conducted by the Novus Polling Institute suggested that over 50% of Swedes either don't plan to take the vaccine or are undecided about it.
I'm not planning to take the vaccine because it is too many questions about why. We're just reading it, what's going on with the vaccine and who is going to take it to be immune.
Side effects accompany all vaccines, but serious ones are proportionally very rare, as with the narcolepsy cases in Sweden. The effectiveness of vaccines are also widely agreed upon, and they have led to the eradication of many diseases.
Me, my husband and our 3 children are planning to vaccinate ourselves if it's approved for the market. And we noticed that the Public Health Agency and society is saying that we should take the vaccine. We will do it.
Hannah is a voice of reason, and many in Sweden echo her sentiments as well. However, the overwhelming sentiment seems to be a message to the health authorities. Let people make their own choices. Don't blame and shame those who choose not to get vaccinated. This time around, the Swedish authorities would surely see the sense in that, with even the country's face of COVID response, Dr. Tegnell, ruling out mandatory inoculation. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
Co-presented by Skoda. Simply clever.